Now concerning logics, important thing is, it was impossible for the bourgeoisie, for the bourgeois philosophers, for the capitalists to move towards a new mode of production without changing its mode of thinking, without changing its logics, without changing its relation to nature, natural science, and without changing its philosophy from idealism to mechanical materialism, and to get rid of the whole superstructure, the religious superstructure, and to replace God with reason. And reason is capital, and capital is revolution. So, what do we deduce from that? We have to detonate in a world that's already triple, a world of meso, micro and macrocosmos. We have to detonate. We have to develop a new logic. You have to get out of this cage, out of this jail of A. How do we get to B? What is B? What is a new logic? How to get to three things, to trialectics, as we would call it. What does trialectics presuppose? How you get out? How are you going to formulate, begin, have a mode of thinking to get rid of evolution, revolution, get to transvolution, get rid of transition, and get to exvolution and get right out? How you get to B or C or D, etc. By exactly escaping across the third law, which was made by human beings, was made by the ruling classes. It's nothing to do with what's happening in nature, on society, or in the multiverses. You have to say, yes, that transcends something which is neither A nor non-A. There's a third possibility. And this third possibility is linked, negating and transcending the affirmation and the negation. We have to get beyond, venture beyond formal and dialectical logics. This presupposes a new attitude to nature. This presupposes a new science, natural science, which is used until now for the service of capital, of the bourgeoisie, of the corporate gangsters. 1% of natural science was used. The rest was to destroy nature. As we can see, the whole earthquakes, how HARP is functioning, all about the droughts, everything is happening, fires, brimstone, everything, floods. Nature itself is in a total mess. Ecocide. So a new attitude towards nature, a new science. Then it doesn't help to have a new logic. It doesn't help to have a new natural science or new philosophy. You need a new man. But it can't be a man, because that's not new. Men and women, we had all the time. So in fact, surpassing, transcending, master and slave, classes, class society, we have to move into the new. And yes, this new needs a new language, a new mode of thinking, etc. And for that we need a new concept. It's no more a matter of religion, a matter of revolution, reform, and re. It's a matter of emancipation. We need the logics of emancipation. We need the logics of neither nor. We need the logics of completely opening all the universes and transcend them. It's the only way to get out. We have to enter and tumble what we have projected into the other world, into heaven, into the heavens. We have to bring them back. Logically bring back our characteristics, all that we have given to our gods. Omniscience, we need it, it's ours. Omnipresent, to be everywhere. And because they were everywhere, the witches were burnt at the stake in the Middle Ages. They had the possibility, they knew how to be everywhere. That's why they are witches. And the witch hunting was a distraction. All those categories, all those attributes, all those traits that we have given to the gods, that's ours. We have become empty. We have nothing anymore. The degree of our religion, and we have listened to it last night in those of Walter Martinez, that the whole world is getting crazy because a book was burned. And this book, burning the book, is really causing a catastrophe on a world scale. The same way, probably, if you're going to get rid of a statue on Times Square or something like that, of some saint, that's going to cause a world war. The degree of religion, the degree of the sigh of the oppressed creature, religion, the degree of the heartlessness of a heartless world, shows the level of exploitation. The degree of alienation of the people, more religions that they become. All kind of groups springing out like mushrooms across overnight. Scientology and all kind of things. Right? This indicates the desperate situation on a world scale. The lack of theory, the lack of praxis, the lack of creativity. So, logically, the new logic, a new logic that we need, this new logic has to do with creativeness, creating. And in those days, when there was a split in philosophy, when from Aristotle, the split went across Platonists to Saint Augustine and so forth, to Roman Catholicism. There was another direction from Aristotle that went across Africa, across the Arab world, across great philosophers like Avicenna, Averroes, Avicebron. And they had coined something that was important and said, this moment important. What is the essence of emancipation? The logic of which we have to develop. Natura naturata and natura naturans. Creating, creative, created nature, explaining the world out of itself in all its myriad ways of appearance forms, of essential forms, of transcending forms. Natura naturata and natura naturans. And this has been explained very well, because this is our principle of hope, explained by my teacher, Ernst Bloch, the Marxist philosopher of hope. He wrote a big book explaining exactly this, the principle of hope. And he explained, he wrote a small pamphlet, small booklet, exactly about Avicenna and the Aristotelian left. And this is it. This is if we do not succeed to move rapidly, logically, from revolution to emancipation, we are really in for trouble. And emancipation has nothing to do with emancipation of the slaves. Emancipation has nothing to do with emancipation of the women, liberation of the women, emancipation. Emancipation, got to do, but the young Marx, he just became a Marxist, 1843. He wrote about a theme that's very interesting, the Jewish question, and said the Jewish question, Jewish emancipation, you cannot separate from human emancipation. And there already he and Engels, Friedrich Engels, were discussing and thinking about writing a program for the proletariat, for the working classes, especially for the German ones, for Germany. Germany was belated. Germany did not have a French Revolution yet, no Industrial Revolution. And that's in the time, around about 1843, 1848. So, the Communist Manifesto was a program, was a manifesto for the Communist Party, for the communists of the world, to transcend the French Revolution towards human emancipation. And in this article of 1843, The Jewish Question, Marx explains what is human emancipation. So, the new logic, transcending formal logics, dialectical logics, as we said, trialectics, this new logic has to be developed. But the problem is, before this can be developed, the educational system, the socialization system, the cultural system, the religious ideas, ideological illusions have to be get rid of. So the battle is not only grasping a gun. The pen, thinking, is mightier than the sword. And actually it's so ironic. Always when the ruling classes try to cheat, to lie, they make mistakes. And they put in things that don't belong in the ideology. Now look at this one. Look at this logic. I did not come to bring peace to this world, but the sword. Fire I brought to this world. Oh, I wish that it's burning already. Now look at that one. Christians have to understand that they are Christ, did not come to bring world peace. Fire, the sword. And you know what is fire? Fire that comes out of a barrel of a gun. Is that terminate logics, formal logics, dialectical logics, and trialectical logics.